Garrett. I'm one of the community investments managers here at United Way. Thank you all for attending today. Today, during this meeting, we're just going to go over a little bit about the Greener Together grant funding process, how to submit an LOI. We're also going to talk a little bit about creating a profile and an LOI in our database, which is WiseHive, and then talk a little bit about the priority funding areas and the timeline for the grant process. Before we get into that, I'm going to give the rest of our team a chance to introduce themselves. We'll start with Chelsea, and then we'll go ahead and start.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, my name is Chelsea. I am one of the Community Investments Manager. It's nice to be here with all of you. I will pass it over to Meg. She was the one who was talking before.
Yep, good morning, everybody. I'm Meg Blue. I am our Vice President of Community Investments here at United Way of the Midlands. Good to see you all. And I do think we've got at least one member of our OPPD team on the call. Natalie, if you want to introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Natalie Kuipers, and I am the Program Manager at OPPD for the Greener Together program. So I'm also available as a resource as you move through this process if you need anything.
All right. So I just wanted to start off by saying that we are very grateful for our partnership with OPPD. This collaboration works with us to allow us to leverage each organization's expertise and strengthen the environmental sustainability space. Together, we're able to combine community investment experience with technical knowledge to create a stronger and more impactful program. So the purpose of the Greener Together initiative is to support and promote environmental projects that are led by local nonprofit organizations like some of you that are here. Through this partnership, we aim to invest in projects that advance environmental sustainability, renewable energy, and energy efficiency throughout our community. But beyond these environmental benefits, we also encourage meaningful community engagement by supporting projects that educate, involve, and empower residents here. And at the same time, the program emphasizes transparency and accountability in both fund allocation and project implementation. This ensures that resources are used effectively and that funded projects can demonstrate measurable impact. Ultimately, Greener Together is about helping nonprofits bring innovative environmental solutions to life while creating lasting benefits for our community and future generations. I'll pass it over to you, Rosalind, to talk to us a little bit about the investment process.
So we are at the very beginning of the investment process as we are right now. So we're doing the training for the letter of intent. The letter of intent is an opportunity for organizations to present to United Way and OPPD a clear and concise document that explains your interest in applying for the Greener Together Fund. It explains and gives detail about the project you intend to apply for the funds for, and gives us an opportunity to assess your project and make sure it's going to be a good fit for the grant process. During due diligence meeting, that's an opportunity for us all to get together once again. Allows United Way to ask any clarifying questions that we may have after reading your letter of intent. Making sure again that the project is a good fit, and also gives you an opportunity to ask more questions about the full grant process and how your project may fit into the Greener Together grant. Then when you do an application, again, we'll have another training just like this if you are chosen to go forward, where we explain in great detail about how to do the application and then how things move forward to the review process. We have United Way staff as well as OPPD staff and community reviewers who are tasked with reviewing those applications. And our community reviewers are people from diverse backgrounds. So we could have experts in finance, education, construction, and bringing all of their knowledge forward to review those applications. Once those reviews are done, we all make recommendations, and then those award announcements are made in October.
All right. So when it comes to funding priority areas of the Greener Together program, there are three of them. There's renewable energy, environmental sustainability, and energy efficiency. So the first funding area supports new community-based projects that generate or store energy using renewable resources. So some of these resources include solar, wind, water, geothermal, biomass, landfill gas, or biogas projects. And the goal for this priority funding area is to support innovative efforts that increase access to clean, renewable energy within the OPPD service territory. Now, the second funding priority area is environmental sustainability. This category focuses on projects that reduce environmental impacts and promote long-term sustainability. And when we talk about sustainability, what we mean is that how do we meet today's needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet theirs? And so a lot of these eligible projects might include efforts that reduce energy consumption, emissions, waste, or resource use. And other examples include recycling and reuse initiatives. They could be transportation electrification, pollinator gardens, tree planting, and similar projects that create measurable environmental benefits. Now, the third priority funding area is energy efficiency. So this area supports projects that reduce overall energy while maintaining or improving the performance, comfort, safety, and cost effectiveness of homes, buildings, or community spaces. And so some of these examples include upgrades, repairs, or improvements that lower energy consumption and contribute to long-term energy conservation. As you're considering your project, please know that additional information about each priority area is available. We've included it in a link within the request for proposal that will be available on the day of the LOI opening on our website, and it will be within the letter of intent application as well. So it provides more detailed descriptions and examples for each funding category. And if you're unsure which priority area best aligns with your project, don't worry. Us United Way staff are available to discuss your project and provide guidance. We can help determine the best fit during a due diligence conversation, such as the one that Rosalind had talked to us a little bit before this. We can help you determine that and answer any questions you may have throughout the application process. Over to you, Rosalind, for the demonstration.
If you let me unshare so I can share. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just give a little demonstration um, of the WiseHive, which is our database. See if I can find it. I have some things open here.
Rosalind, while you do that, just wanted to make an announcement that I have put the link to the application portal in um, the chat for you all to follow along as well. Please make sure that you are following along and not actually clicking to apply.
Sorry about that, guys. Just a little technical difficulties over here. So again, this that you're seeing is how the database will appear to you all once you go into the link that Chelsea shared in the chat. This area up here is the profile. I have some information in here already, so it's going to look a little different, but you're going to go into this profile area. And then if you're new, you're going to create this original profile for yourself. If you're an agency that has applied before, you're going to go in and update any information that you want to update. If you go through here, you'll see some of these have a red asterisk next to them. Those are information that are mandatory. That will allow you to proceed forward. So basically, it's just general agency information, when you started, address, any social media profiles that you may have, CEO, executive director information, and then a primary contact information you'll see below. That can be the person that you want to be the primary contact for any information that might automatically go out from us, or it can again be the CEO or executive director. So again, that's where you create your original profile or make any updates if you already have a profile in WiseHive. Once you've done that, it'll say complete as mine does up here. And then you'll have this letter of intent is where you'll go in. Again, I have some information here already. And I'm just going to reopen. When you go in, everything is going to be blank. Some of this agency information or all of it will transfer automatically for you. Again, important to make sure you update anything if you need to have anything appear differently in your letter of intent. Again, you have the red asterisk for information that you have to make sure that you fill out. And then you're just going to, again, as we discussed earlier, this is going to be a clear, concise description of that project that you intend to apply for funding for. So you'll go through, answer questions, give descriptions with as much clarity as possible. And then this due diligence area, that's administrative only. That's for our staff to fill out if we're requiring a due diligence meeting with you. You'll mark it as complete. Anytime that you're completing your LOI, if you would like to save it as a draft and go back and complete later, that's also an option down here with this save as draft. Once you're done with it, you'll mark it as complete, and then it's going to bounce you back. And up here, this green submit button, this button will appear as green. You have to press submit before it will be a complete document and roll over so that United Way staff and OPPD staff are able to review it. If at any time during that process you have any questions, once again, Chelsea, I, or Meg will be available to answer any questions for you. Um, Again, as you can see, sometimes it can be a little cantankerous with all the technology and database. So please feel free to reach out with any questions that you may have during that process. Thank you all for your patience.
All right. Thank you so much, Rosalind, for the demonstration on WiseHive. So I'll go ahead and give an overview of the timeline for the Greener Together process. So we're going to kick off the Greener Together program with our virtual training, which is today that you all are here for. And then next, we have July 6th, which is when the letter of intent will be open. And you must have your letter of intent submitted by July 17th. And so organizations who are interested, or if you have any questions, you can email us at communityinvestment@uwmidlands.org. Following our LOI review after the 17th, us United Way staff will conduct the due diligence meetings that Rosin had talked about previously, and they will be held between July 23rd and July 27th. These are really just conversations to give us an opportunity to learn more about your proposed project. Again, discussing alignment with funding priorities, the 3 funding priority areas that I had spoken about previously. and also to provide guidance before the full application phase. We'll then host an application training session on July 30th, followed by the opening of the full application on August 3rd. So the application training session will be similar to the session that we are hosting right now, but it will be more so focused on the application process than just on the LOI process. Like I said, the applications open on August 3rd, and then completed applications will be due by August 21st. And so once all applications are submitted, they will move into the community review period from August 31st through September 18th. And then during this time, our OPPD community reviewers will evaluate proposals, and then applicants will receive clarification questions that may require a response as well. And so we anticipate announcing awarded proposals in October, with funding beginning in November 2026. And so we encourage you all to review these dates carefully and beginning to plan how to ensure that you have adequate time to complete each step of the process. Throughout the cycle, like Rosalind said, our team, Meg, Rosalind, and myself are available to answer questions and to also provide support. I will pass it over to you, Rosalind.
So yeah, thank you all for coming out or showing up for this interview, or sorry, not this interview, but the introduction to the Greener Together funding. Again, reach out to any of our staff or the community investments at unitedwaymidlands.org email address if you have any questions along the way. And we look forward to working with you all during this process.
I will just add quickly, I did put in the chat the link to our Greener Together webpage. On this, you can just review more information, see the timeline, and we also have on here a letter of intent guide that you can use as you kind of fill that out. If you are invited to apply from that letter of intent, you will also receive a guide for the application as well. So I think with that, just thank everybody for your time. Natalie, anything that you would like to add from OPPD?
No, I think just if you have any questions about anything, please reach out. And we look forward to seeing all your applications. Oh, I think we have some questions in the chat, though.
Sorry about that. I started talking and I was muted. It looked like we had a question about whether your NTEE code is not in the profile dropdown. Does that mean your org is not likely a good fit? No, not necessarily. I think it's just kind of a way for us to get a better understanding of what you kind of align with. But that is not a factor that necessarily is contributed to whether you move forward from the LOI or application phase. And then I got a question, where's the link on your website? Are we looking for which? Oh, okay, perfect, found it. And then one more question about if the recording will be shared afterward. Yes, absolutely. Please reach out to us if you would like a recording. It does take a couple days to convert it, but we will get it to you, I would say, early next week. Perfect. So I would say with that, if we are good to go, we'll give folks 10 or so minutes back into your day. We appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you, Rosalind and Chelsea, for leading this for us. And yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We look forward to seeing your project proposals. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everyone.
No, that's about that like legit me after I was like